Our well-read segment for September is all about fame and family. Best-selling author Chantel Guertin joins us now with her favorite picks. Hello.
Hello, Annette. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I like what you've selected. You've got a good mix of fiction and nonfiction today.
Yes, that's right. So first up, we have Marrying the Ketchups, and that is by Jennifer Close. And this is the story of a family who owns a restaurant. So they're interconnected, 3 generations. It centers around this woman, Gretchen, who was in a college band called Donna Martin Graduates, which is a reference to 90210. So, you know, they were so big and everybody loved them. And she thought she had her whole life figured out. But as she's aging, she's like losing those same fans and they're getting younger and younger. And she's looking at her life like, is this what I wanted for my life? Like all these late nights and sleeping in all day. So she goes back to the restaurant, and then it focuses on her cousin, her sister, and all of their lives and how they're sort of drawn back to the restaurant.
And where does the term ketchups come in? Is that their family name?
No, it's not. And I also wondered, I'm not going to give it away because there is a scene in the book where you find out why it is called that, and it is so great.
Okay. The next one is a book that you've mentioned before in our talks.
That's right. So this is Kerry, Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I mentioned it because Kerry Soto was a minor character in Malibu Rising. And Taylor Jenkins Reid has made these quartet of books of fearless, famous females. So she started with Evelyn Hugo, then Daisy Jones and the Six, Malibu Rising, and now Kerry Soto is Back. So this woman is a famous tennis player. She's retired, but she's coming out of retirement one more time. She wants to get this title. Her father is her coach. It's so timely. This book launched during the U.S. Open. Serena Williams announced her retirement after this U.S. Open. You know, her father was her coach for years and years. So there's a lot of similarities there. And so it's like such a timely, kind of exciting book.
And I love how she ties so many of her characters from other books into obscure ways. Because I just read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo a little while ago. I love that book. And I understand one of the characters, one of the husbands, is a character in this book.
That's right. Yeah. So it's interesting, right, to have that forethought to be able to bring them back into narratives. Yeah. I love that. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Another very timely book is the next one you're going to talk about, because yesterday was the 25th anniversary of the death of Princess Diana.
Yeah, so this one is Diana, William, and Harry, and this is by James Patterson. So many people may know James Patterson, prolific novelist. And so he has a lovely way of writing. Now, obviously, if you're a fan of the Royals or Diana, there isn't a lot in here that you feel like you didn't know if you're a fan, but the storytelling is so beautiful. The prologue opens with the scene of her death, being chased by the paparazzi, and then goes back in time to where she is the maid of honor at her sister's wedding. And it's this relationship that she had with her boys, and he a little bit might be imagining, or it's collected, right? You hear some of her thoughts, which I don't know how you would know her thoughts, but it's truly believable, and it's just a really lovely story.
I've never thought of him as writing things about nonfiction, but it's not technically a nonfiction book, is it, or is it?
That's a great question. I mean, they're not saying it's a novel. I guess, you know, you take some liberties in biographies and things like that.
Okay, and your last one is by Emma Straub, great writer.
Yes, This Time Tomorrow. So this one is an interesting, the fame portion here comes a little bit in real life. So Emma Straub's father is also an author, writes thrillers, Peter Straub. This story is of a woman who is 40, her father is ailing, and she wakes up and she is a teenager again, and her father is 40. And so she's able to time travel between the two. And so there's this kind of question of if you could go back in time and would you do things differently, and that relationship with father and daughter. And so I think this is her writing is so beautiful.
Yeah.
And so I just love that. And that, you know, we always wonder, and those kind of, so the twist on the time travel novel.
Okay, putting all of those on my list. Thank you very much, Chantel, and we'll get that list up at our website, chch.com. Happy reading.
Thanks, Annette.